Charity, the voluntary giving of help typically in the form of money to those in need.
Hi, I'm Maria Muhammad Ashik.
And I'm Asya Savage.
We have brought up some questions regarding this topic. This week, we chose to interview Mr. Manji, who works for the LIA Trust, which is one of the leading charity campaigns in the UK. And that is why we chose to interview him.
My friend and I thought charity was a very interesting topic, hence we chose to interview him. Our goal was to explore deeper. When asked what charity meant, Mr. Amanji said that it doesn't always have to mean giving money. It could also be in the form of a simple smile or even helping one's brother.
Mr. Amanji has visited various countries such as Syria and Jordan, and we asked him how it felt like traveling to these places. He told us that to him, it felt like it was a big opportunity and also made him appreciate what he has in his life. And also helping others across the world is a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and it can also give one a sense of pride and joy.
Emphasizing the changes in Jordan, Mr. Amanji claimed that 10 years ago, Jordan was a great and peaceful place to live and seek refuge. However, we found out that Jordan is now suffering from extreme poverty.
Although there has been significant changes in countries, Syria has been the biggest country which is in need of charity the most due to suffering for the longest period.
Reporting from Madani School Federation.
This is Maria Muhammad Ashik
and Asya Savage.
Hello, my name is Ishwaq Ali, a student at Madani Schools Federation, reporting on an issue that has taken our educational institutes by storm: exam stress. A recent study by Wilson, Mooney and Bryce displayed that out of 773 secondary school children, 46% said that mental health education would be beneficial pertaining to the prevention of stress during exams. Similarly, what has instigated this cause for concern? I interviewed 2 Year 11 students from Madani Girls School on their view of exam stress. As a Year 10 student myself, I have had my fair share of exam stress, but I wanted to find out the difference between Year 10 and Year 11. Khadija Ahmed answered, quote, "One thing that has definitely changed is that the amount of stress has increased. Timing is more of a problem in terms of the countdown to the first GCSE. When asked about exam stress to other alike Year 11s, Sarah Mus replied with, quote, "My tip is to make sure you know your limits and know when you should take a break, as you know yourself best." Full-time counsellors, as well as a quiet space to revise, are improvements both Sarah Mus and Khadija Ahmed have suggested for helping Madani students deal with their exam stress. For more on school topics like these, please visit our website www.bbc.co.uk/schoolreport. Once again, www.bbc.co.uk/schoolreport. This has been Ishwaq Ali, and thank you for listening.
Hi, my name is Munir and I'm doing a BBC School News report on mental health. Can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Paul Howley. I'm the lead matron for Ward 3, which is a child and adolescent mental health unit in Colville.
What are your thoughts on mental health as a public health issue?
I think mental health, particularly around the stigma in relation to people being educated around it, there's massive drivers going on, so locally, nationally, in communities. I think there's big improvements to be made.
In your opinion, what factors influence mental health the most?
I think from my experience, there's a multitude of factors, so it could be environmental factors, so that could be to the way that people have been brought up, so their upbringing, their home, potentially some cultural factors or potentially incidents around sort of trauma from where they've come from, and there's potentially genetic factors as well.
Do you think a family member's mental illness affects their children? If so, how?
I think potentially it can do. I think mental health affects everybody around the family, and I think if there's children in a home where an adult has got a mental health problem, or there's carers and relatives, I think that has an impact on it massively, yeah.
In what way can we promote mental health and reduce the stigma associated with this illness in different ethnic communities?
I think we need to do more outreach projects. I think my colleague that I spent the morning with this morning, it's been really good. So schools and other agencies allowing people in to share and try and just reduce that stigma in communities.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hello Miss, my name is Sophia and here's Medina. We would like to interview you as our librarian and reading coordinator of the school on the topic of World Book Day.
Okay, brilliant. How do you think students and teachers contributed to World Book Day? Okay, so we had a lot of input from the Creative Arts Department, a lot of input from the Science Department, and then also, I don't know if you know, but we had lots of input from support staff. So the catering team in the kitchen actually created and made all the food for the World Book Day menu, and we entertained 240 primary school children that day. They came in to do an activity on the exhibition and had storytelling time, so a lot of that setup was done by our office admin staff and our cover supervisors, Mrs. Scotpree and Miss Farouk. They just thought it was wonderful. So the little children came in, they collected their clipboards, they did an activity and visited all the exhibitors. So we had year 9s exhibiting their work as well. And then they sat for story time in the library with Mr. Scott. And then they had refreshments. We even had Miss Yusuf, who works in our offices, and she created World Book Day biscuits for us. And it was much appreciated. I think members of staff at LIA commented on how wonderful our students are, how eloquent you are, and how much hard work you'd put into making the day possible. And also our students really enjoyed seeing the little children come through the door.
Yeah, they were walking past our class and they were just looking in like, that's so amazing.
It was so nice, and you forget how small they are as well.
No, all my siblings are all like Harry Potter trio.
Did they come on the day? Oh, wonderful.
Loved
It must have been nice for you to see them come to your school.
Yeah, they said it was fun, so
brilliant.
It's very nice. I do remember the World Book Day was very significant. Can you describe the concept for this competition?
So World Book Day has been running now for 21 years. Last year they celebrated their 20th anniversary, and the aim of World Book Day was to ensure that every child was in possession of a book, and also to promote the love of literature and reading. And I think over the 21 years, the World Book Day initiative has done really well, to the point where people celebrate it all over the world. If you go into the supermarkets now during World Book Day time, you'll see costumes everywhere. The £1 vouchers are always well received, and we like to make a big deal of it at our school because we like to think that we're a very successful reading school. I know Safia and Medina, you are very avid readers, and I think you're very lucky to attend this school because you get access to all the wonderful books and pieces of literature that we have here.
That's right. What inspires you to display facts from the famous book 1001 Inventions around the school?
Well, I'll tell you the story of how it came about. So we've always had the 1001 Muslim Inventions book, but this year they remarketed it and rebranded it as with a more child-friendly version. So I'm sure you've seen the 1001 Inventions book, which was created by National Geographic. When it came through, I thought it was absolutely wonderful, and I thought, why are we not celebrating this book a lot more? So I took it to the head teacher, Mr. Lahare, and we decided that we should do something more with it. For example, last year we had, the theme was Alice in Wonderland in the foyer. Do you remember that one? And that was wonderful, wasn't it? Created by Miss Auckland and Miss Natha. So this year we decided to go with a theme of non-fiction, and one of the major themes was the 1001 Muslim Inventions. So we managed to enlarge and laminate 501 pieces of information. So all the colourful bits of information that you can see around the foyer and the library, there's 501 pieces, and that took about 2 months to create. We broke laminators, we ran out of laminating pouches, and then the day before World Book Day we were here till quite late getting those up so students and staff could come in the morning.
What was your most enjoyable moment of the entire day?
I think it's hard to pick one moment because there were so many things going on, but I think just really the buzz that it created around the school, and that's exactly what we were looking for. The other thing that was a highlight for me is watching the students' faces when they realised they'd won something. So the Hunger Games trial winner from Key Stage 4, the World Book Day menu winner, to the girls who won the Rites of Passage competition, to the student who won the 1001 Inventions model. It was just a wonderful moment for me to see them in their element and enjoying the fruits of their labour, and also seeing the members of staff dressed up in their costumes. What was your favourite costume?
Miss Williams.
Dressed up as Effie.
Effie from Hunger Games.
And Miss Muller as the evil queen. That was really
that was a nice surprise to see staff in a different.
It literally, I was just so enthusiastic about it. I just saw them and I was like, oh my god, they were going around each classroom looking at what the teachers.
Yeah, and what was nice about Miss Williams's costumes was not everybody has read Hunger Games. So what happened from there on was they were asking Miss, who are you dressed up as? And she said Effie from Hunger Games, and that prompted students to actually come and take the book out from the library, just because Miss Williams had that outfit on, and that's exactly what we wanted to achieve from the staff dressing up on the day. So that was really nice.
It was fun because in my old school we didn't do much for World Book Day, but this school we do loads.
We do, and I think as staff and students we should be really proud of that.
Yeah, to us, World Book Day, it was a great success, and we'd like to thank you for making it an enjoyable day for everyone.
I wasn't expecting that, so
participating
that's
in this interview.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, this is Manad Adami reporting from Money Schools Federation. Today I'll be talking to you about Women's International Day. My peer and I interviewed a teacher who organised activities towards this inspiring day. As we are in the 21st century, we don't understand how many hardships females went through to get to equality now. This day is to celebrate how far women have come today. Women have always come second to men. I interviewed a teacher to get an insight on how Women's International Day affected us at our school. The teacher claimed that different strategies were used to raise awareness, including designing a book cover in tribute to inspirational females, which was in conjunction with World Book Day. Sashes were made and worn by students as well as teachers to honour the suffragettes who contributed to getting the women's right to vote. I acknowledge that in history lessons, sources from the past were only from male perspectives and rarely female. I did the activities to encourage students to be activists and reflect on women they look up to in their lives, and see women struggle in a united way, replied the teacher who organised Women's International Day. I was not aware till last year when I looked up in articles for citizenship. Despite being in the 21st century, I have realised that the curriculum taught to students is geared towards males. The teacher continued to say, unfortunately, inequality still exists and patriarchy is still very apparent across the world. I also interviewed a student who helped the teacher support this inspirational day. This is what she had to say. In this world, women and men have never been equal. One day for women's recognition is not enough, and it needs to be every day. Students like myself are disadvantaged because we are persuaded to believe one point of view. Still, today, many females aren't paid the same as their male colleagues, even though they have the same job. Most people assume that only developing countries experience sexism. However, this is not the case. Although people might not think of this honouring day as something important, it is a day to empower women. To sum up, taking action to empower something is very important. As a faith school, we are taught in religion that no one is superior to another, no matter how rich or poor, strong or weak, or if they're male or female. This is Manad Adami. Thank you and goodbye.